Today I have a very special guest for you. His name is Tyler and his channel is called Teach Me Golding. Tyler is an old school YouTuber who has really grown and been successful in the past and has started a new channel and is kind of rebuilding from scratch. He's an exciting person, he's an amazing content creator, and I'm very pleased to bring him to you today.
Hey, what's going on? Tim Tam Slam, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited for this episode, and I really hope that I can bring value to the people watching this, even if it's one or two little things that they can take away from this and enhance their own YouTube channels. Like your videos help me and other YouTubers grow, so I'm really excited to get into this. But yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's an honor, and let's get into it, I guess.
Hey everyone, what is up? My name is Tim Rose, and on this channel my goal is always to hit my mark and to help you hit your mark on YouTube as well. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications right now. Okay, so we are going to actually jump into asking Tyler the very first question here. And question number one is, you previously had a channel with over 20,000 subscribers. What was the focus of your content, and what was the biggest lesson that you learned from having a channel that size?
That's a really good question. Yes, I did have a channel with around 20,000 subscribers, and I actually ended up quitting it and quitting YouTube for quite a few years. And long story short, basically I was the first ever person to put Madden videos on the internet. I was ranked in the top 100, so it was definitely a really raw and rough channel. Like I started filming like on the TV with a video camera on my like armchair. It was terrible, but it got like it kind of blew up over time, and it was definitely a grind to get there, and I loved it. But then I started teaching, and I just kind of quit, and I lost my energy and enthusiasm for it, and I definitely regret it now, and I'll kind of get more into that later. But now with COVID hitting, I ended up starting a YouTube channel for my students for teaching and trying to teach them through YouTube just because I'm pretty familiar with it. And then all of a sudden I was like, dang it, I've got the YouTube bug. So I was just putting out like math tutorials and lessons on YouTube, and then I was kind of thinking like, you know, I'm a coach and I love to just talk about life, and I love to talk about finances, and I love to talk about just like improving your life and trying to get gooder at life. And so I was like, dang it, I'm gonna go hard with this YouTube thing for a while and see where it takes me, and see if I can kind of surpass where I was with my Madden channel.
That is such fantastic information, Tyler. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, the next question I have for you is, why did you make a total change and start with a brand new channel?
That's a really good question as to why I switched, because it was a really hard decision, but at the time it wasn't seemingly that hard of a decision because I didn't actually make that much money from doing the Madden videos. I think I made like $2 for every 1,000 views that I got, and you had to actually like form a partnership with Machinima Sports, and then Machinima Sports like just took like all of your money, and then YouTube took the rest of the money, and then they left you with like barely anything. So the main reason though was I had quite a few videos that went like super viral. And I know that like when you get those viral videos, you need to do those all the time. However, the viral videos that I had, they honestly like weren't authentic to who I was. And I had a really hard time like putting videos out that were so different than me. And I know I could have just like been a character and kind of acted, and like they were like these like crazy pranking type of videos. And I really just didn't feel good about putting out content, and it was kind of exhausting putting out content that wasn't authentic. And the more that I did it, the more I kind of like hated doing it, and YouTube just became this like exhausting drag. So I kind of thought like, okay, I'm getting this like massive following from this, but the thing that I learned from it is it's probably better to start a channel that like is honestly authentic to you, because then you're not going to burn out, because you're like genuinely passionate and excited about making a video, and you're making a video just like for yourself and not necessarily to try and get views. And I think that's super important, because then your video quality is generally just going to be like amazing.
Wow, that's really amazing. It sounds like you made a very wise decision in restarting your channel. And I think it's really important to remember that being authentic is super important on YouTube as well. Now, the next question, Tyler, is do you wish that you had kept your old channel and rolled it into your current content? Why didn't you try to do this?
Yeah, I obviously wish that I would have kept my old channel. However, it kind of pushed me into other areas of my life and gave me more time to focus on different things. So one of the things that it pushed me into was doing more magic. And eventually from getting more into magic is I became a professional magician. And I used that time and that extra time that I had to build a website and do some social media, do videos and do some advertising. And doing magic is honestly like a lot more profitable anyways than doing YouTube videos, and I probably get a little more joy out of that than like playing video games all the time. So I kind of regret it just because YouTube is like unreal now, and I see some of the other people that had less subscribers than me and they're over 1 million. Some of them are over 1 million in subscribers. So yeah, I definitely regret it, but at the same time it's like, okay, you can't look in the past and you just got to like learn something from that and then move forward. So I mean, I'm really pumped about my new channel. I know it's like super small on like the scale of comparing it, but at the same time I'm super happy about what I'm doing and I'm proud of what I'm doing, where I wasn't necessarily proud of like sitting on my butt and like eating chips and making YouTube videos playing Madden and stuff. And yeah, I definitely like this a lot more. It's a lot more satisfying.
It's so great that you've actually found something that makes you really happy with your content creation. Okay, my friend, the next question I have for you is, what is your biggest piece of advice for new YouTubers who are just beginning their journey on YouTube?
Well, I definitely could give a few tips of advice that I think could really add value to those that are watching this. Would be to take your personality and take the things that you're good at and try and combine it with what you're interested or what niche you're interested in. So obviously being a professional magician, I might as well like throw that in with my channel. So with life advice and trying to get you gooder at life. So when you're combining those two things, people are watching, they're hopefully thinking like, oh, hey, this is kind of like a little bit different. Maybe I'll watch again, or maybe I just want to see him do another magic trick. And before you know it, they're listening to your content and they're listening to what you have to say. And then you have another chance at another click and another like and another subscriber and another comment. And hey, maybe a new best friend. But I think that is super, super, super important. The other thing is I would probably say go and spend a little bit of money on Fiverr and just get somebody to make you maybe a banner. It's like some art for your channel, get you to like get a like animation to pop up. So do a couple little things like that. And probably the other third thing that would be most important to me is I would say go and actually research your topics before you're doing this. So put some research into it. So before you just like start talking on the camera, go and research what you're actually going to talk about. Go and write some notes down. So then you don't have like these awkward pauses, and you're not sitting there in post-production with like an hour and a half of footage just to edit like 10 minutes. So once you've done your research and you've done all that stuff and you've already put it into YouTube, I highly recommend to go on Twitter, go on Facebook, and try and find groups and find different places and people that you can connect with. So an example would be I did a video on going back to school anxiety and things that you could do to counter that anxiety. So obviously, like now I can go on Twitter and I can look up school anxiety, and it's crazy, like hundreds of kids are posting like, oh dear, like I'm struggling with anxiety and I'm really stressed for school. Well, I can send them a message and say like, hey, I'm really sorry you're going through this, blah, 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 blah. Here's the link to my video. Obviously, it's like a little bit kind of shady. It's like, oh, hey, I'm just like spamming kids like, hey, I've got this video that I made. But I mean, I made the video because I had great intentions and I genuinely like had students, my own students, come to me and tell me I'm really stressed of going to school. So I wanted to make that video to help them. And then obviously, like I would love to help the more and more people that I can help, the better that's going to be. So that is that. That's a lot in like packed in, and I hope that somebody got some value from that. So yeah, anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And definitely my channel is Teach Me Golding and my slogan is Get Gooder at Life, and I hope that I got you gooder at YouTube. So that's that. So Tim, thank you so much for having me. Definitely appreciate your videos and look forward to your next one. Anyways, see ya.
Tyler, thank you so much for the in-depth answers to these questions. I know that a lot of people watching today are going to benefit a lot from your experience that you've had on YouTube. I want to thank you so much for being so open and willing and able to share about your journey on YouTube and what it is that you went through and kind of the challenges that you faced. and your experiences. It's really important that we as content creators hear stories like this of people who've had these journeys before us. So I'm going to go ahead and put Tyler's channel in the description below for you. Please check out his content. He is a super funny, super talented content creator. He's built successful channels in the past, and his current channel, it may be small, but his content is really amazing. He is, really good at a number of different things, and he will have you laughing and in stitches with a lot of his magic tricks and a lot of his different content, his humor, his reactions. Even though he's small right now, he is going to grow to be a much bigger YouTuber, I have a feeling. So check out his channel. I'm going to link one up in the video end card for you as well. And make sure if you enjoy his content that you take the time, that you subscribe and watch his content, because it's really, really good. Thank you for coming on today, Tyler. Such a pleasure to have you, my friend. And thank all of you for watching today's video. I'm really grateful. If you want to keep on growing on YouTube, then click on one of the videos in the end cards right now. And I am so thankful to have all of you here with me. And I will see all of you in the next video.